What's up, everybody? It's a Blue Drake, and today, essentially what we're going to be getting at today is what I have been trying to do for a long time. Is I have been wanting to have a full-blown player versus player, strategy-driven, real-time galactic battle, where you have one team starting on Eve, one team starting on Kerbal, and then the first team to destroy the other team's construction facilities wins. Now, that may sound ridiculous. You'd be like, oh, that's way out of the scope of Kerbal Space Program, but it is totally not. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to walk you through the baseline of mods that we're trying to use to get this idea to work. We are going to be using the BD Armory mod, the Extraplanetary Launch Pads mod, the Kethane mod, the Kerbal Attachment System mod, and the Interstellar mod. And I'll go through all of those shortly and tell you what they are and why they're so critical in this whole idea. So I'm going to showcase the first thing. Let's look at the BD Armory. Now, BD Armory obviously adds in a whole bunch of really cool stuff, like guns and, you know, all the classic, like, I want to fuck around in Kerbal Space Program and blow shit up for no reason kind of stuff. So let's, but it's also really in-depth. Like, it's realistic and it's balanced, which is great because some of the ones out there are just ridiculously unbalanced. Like the sun laser mod that just kills everything. All right, so let's launch this puppy. And I want to show you just how good this weapon mod is. And I'm sorry if you guys already know about all these mods. They're not, like, obscure by any means. But they are important to this topic, so I don't want you guys to be like, Blue Drake, you're, like, late to the game. I know I'm late to the game, you little bastard. Alright, so let's start our ship up. So, I mean, Kerbal obviously already has a pretty great system for, like, flying and whatnot. Alright, so let me show you how cool this is. We're going to be turning on our stabilizers, be turning on our weapon system, and arming our vocal turret. And this is completely, like, it mouse tracks. Like, this is great for, like, dogfighting and PvP, and just, like, it's legit. There's even, like, ricochets and stuff. The only problem is that, like, well, I'll just be straight up. All right, so here, let me tell you right now. The only thing stopping me from having this work is the limitations of the multiplayer mod that's out right now. And don't get me wrong, dark multiplayer is doing crazy shit that shouldn't even be possible. But unfortunately, the only thing it cannot do is combat. Like, it just can't. Like, even if you ram into each other, you immediately desync. Like, you can fly in formation, you know, you can build stuff together, but as soon as you fire a bullet at each other, as soon as you ram into each other, as soon as you, like, explode or damage happens to the other ship, everything breaks down. And, like, I was playing with Aurora, and we were dogfighting, and I would blow up his ship, and it just wouldn't register on his side. Like, I would blow him up, and I'd see him explode, and then the game would resync, and he would be fine, and he'd just be flying again, and be like, you never even shot me, and I'd be like, but I did. So that's the biggest thing that's keeping us from actually having what I want. But yeah, so anyways. So, weapons. They are here. The weapons are here. Now, the cool thing about this game is that you don't have to, it's not limited to just flying around it's not like a sandbox that you just fly around, you know, your little base here. You can have, like, full-blown, like, galactic battles, you know, like, alright, here, I'll show you. So, like, I say like too much, sorry, blow me. So, the coolest thing about this is that in this game, you could totally have two of these fighters, like, just in a mothership with your buddy, and you're sitting there coordinating over comms, and let's say there's an enemy resource operation on Kerbal. So you warp in low orbit, and you and your buddy have these cannons. We drop out of low orbit. You know, we've got obviously a ship that's dual capable. So let's go to, like, 15,000. Pretend that we're, like, dropping in. You know, me and my buddy And that's how cool this is. Like, I mean, you can have, like, legit, like, Battlestar Galactica-style orbital drops. I mean, hell, if you wanted to, you could even have infantry in this stuff. Like, how cool is this? Like, let's just pretend that there's, like, a target right there. You know, and me and my buddy are dropping in. The enemy set up a resource operation right there, and we've just dropped out of low orbit. You know, I've got my wingman on me. You know, weapon systems armed. Let's just pretend that's a target. See, and this isn't taking like a million years, you know, this is all real time. And I know we haven't gotten into orbits and stuff yet, but don't trust me, we'll get to that. And the idea still works, like it still holds true. We'll get to that. I'll tell you why it's going to work. You know, there's a target right there. We just dropped into the atmosphere. I've got my guy on my wing, you know, I'm coordinating with him. You know, maybe we've got like a missile launching at us now. We're launching flares, you know. There are fighters over there that just see us. They're coming in, trying to intercept us, so we got to get this target and get out before they get to us. All right, there's the target coming in. I know I'm fucking pretending all this shit, so bear with me. I know it's kind of cheesy, but imagine if this was like really happening. You know, like I just fucking dropped out of orbit. Like, how cool is that shit? What other game can you do that in? Spoiler alert, none! You know, bombs away, rocket, alright, we're getting out. You know, if I had track IR, that would be even cooler. Like, this is Star Citizen level shit! Like, that's the annoying thing! You guys are all like, oh, I want Star Citizen! Oh, I want to go to different planets and have dogfights! You can have it! Right now! You can have it! Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna calm down. Whew! I'm gonna calm down. Like, it annoys me, because it's like people don't realize what they have. Like, right here. Like, you could mod this to be Star Citizen. Right fucking now. It's multiplayer and everything. Like, I don't know. Okay, whatever. So, alright, so that's one thing. That's cool enough in itself. Moving on. So that's the first thing to my whole idea of having, you know, team-based massive galactic PvP battles. So the other thing you're going to be asking is, Blue Drake, okay, well, how are we going to have one team on one planet and the other team on another planet? Okay, there's this mod. Moving on to the next mod. Extraplanetary launch pads, and also the key thing. They're kind of, you know, both in one. And the cool thing about these, here, I'll just show you. The cool thing about extraplanetary launch pad is it's not an extraplanetary launch pad. It's whatever the fuck you want. You can make an orbital shipyard. You can make a space station on the moon that can build ships. And that's just half of it. That's the first part that is really cool about that. The second part that is even more intense and like even more key to all of this is it has an integrated resource management system. So not only can you have a shipyard in orbit, not only can you build a base on the moon that can build ships, you also have to have resources to build those ships. So here, I'll show you. So orbital construction dock, rocket parts container. There we go. Solar panels, whatever. There, done. Launch anyways, whatever. Orbit editor, select body. Let's just be exotic and go to Eve. 50,000. Set. Let's go. Bam. There we go. Okay. Stable. Everybody's chill. So, Vab. Let's build something. Ion space probe. Load. But the point is that you can actually use this to build ships in orbit. You can have a shipyard. And there's an entire resource system into this. Like, you have metal, you have ore, you can go down to Eve, you mine the ore, you bring it up here, you refine it into rocket parts, you store the rocket parts here, and then you use this interface, and you can build whatever you want, you know, within reason. As long as you have the parts for it, as long as you have the space for it, you can build it. And the Kethane mod is so you can get fuel. You can mine Kethane, you can turn that into fuel, so bam, there you have it. You have your ships, and you have your fuel, and you don't even need to have a main base. You could get rid of the Kerbal base on, like, the ground, like the main, like the career mode base. You could get rid of that entirely. It's not even needed. What I want to do for this is you'd have, Team A starts with an orbital station in, they start in orbit on one side of the solar system on Eve, and then the other people have an orbital shipyard in Kerbal. And you just start in space, and you just start building your fleet, and whoever destroys the other orbital space station wins. Like, that's simple. Like, how beautifully simple is that? You can get fuel, you can get parts to build ships, and you can have two teams that just duke it out in space. And, just you design ships, and whoever has the best ships wins. Because that's the thing that I get annoyed with. Like, I'm a very competitive guy. Like, I like fighting people. I want to fight things that are intelligent. Like, I enjoy the challenge. It's interesting. There's no severity. There's no tension, except when you're fighting players, like, that's when things get drastic. That's when you have to take action. That's when you have to just, like, find those crazy solutions on the fucking drop of a hat, and whoever can think fastest and smartest wins. We don't have that here. All right, so I'm sorry. I know I've been ranting in fucking Orbit of Eve for a long time, so let's just go back to... Alright, so that's that section. So next segment, you guys are going to be like, oh, but you can't do that in Kerbal Space Program because, it takes like 30 years to fucking, do translations and like orbits and go, okay, I know. That's where this next thing comes into play. Obviously, yeah, in space, going from one planet to another planet takes months. You know where that isn't a problem? Fucking Star Trek. Why isn't it a problem in Star Trek? Because they have faster than light travel. Yes, that's where I'm going with this. There is a mod that has a balanced solution to FTL travel. It's called the Interstellar Mod. And here, let me see if I can... I wish I could... Here, I don't know. Cupola module... Abacure drive. Where's the smaller one? There it is. Bam. There we go. Reactor. Antimatter collector. Done. Done. Alright, let's go fucking take this in space, whatever. So, normally, it would take you, like, forever to go from one planet to the other, obviously. But now, since we have interstellar travel, and we have faster-than-light travel, you can now finally have, like, real-time games. You can have real-time intergalactic space combat strategy of two teams fighting each other. It would be like the best version of Homeworld, for those of you who haven't played Homeworld, like, ever to exist. It would be so cool. Alright, so let's, I don't know, let's fucking activate. Look at that. Look at where Kerbal is. It's far as fuck away. That's where it is. Look at how fast we're moving. Yeah. Yeah, motherfucker. So we can go to, like, Eve in, like, a matter of minutes as opposed to hours. So look at this. We're engaging warp drive, like, so you could do this. Now, the only thing that would still take a little bit of time is actually descending to planets, which still wouldn't be an issue, because what you could do is you could manage multiple missions simultaneously. So let's say you have one guy, and not to mention, you're not going to be landing on planets all that often. And like you saw before, we had our fighter. Our fighter came in to the atmosphere and actually engaged a target in a pretty decent amount of time. What you could do is, for resource operations, you could actually set up like multiple landing operations simultaneously and then just let them go for like 20 minutes while you focus on combat and stuff, and then once they're landed you can just start working on the resource stuff until they're ready to take off, and then you take them off, which would only take like 5 minutes, and you set them to warp drive, and then you do an orbital rendezvous in Kerbal, you offload your shit, and then you go back. Like, it's totally possible. You could totally do all this stuff. See? So, like, imagine this. Imagine being like a commander in the solar system. You know that you have your guys on Kerbal, you have an orbital space station here. You're managing your ships. You have a resource operation, and they're going FTL to these unknown objects to, gather resources. They come back, they offload this ship. You build a battle cruiser. You send your battle cruiser with one of your players to Eve. They engage in light travel. While they're heading there, maybe take 5-10 minutes. You're managing other stuff. Maybe you want to set up a resource operation to go to Mars to start getting some special start mining resources there, or fuck, maybe even set up a whole nother base. But it's totally possible. Like, that's the coolest thing about this mod. The last mod I want to do is actually called the Kerbal attachment system, and what you can do with the Kerbal attachment system is you can actually modify vehicles, and you can use stuff in order to actually modify vehicles without having to recover them. So you could actually do like repairs or extensions or upgrades to this ship in flight. So let's say you have like your battle cruiser, and you've got, let's say you've got 32 guys. Let's say this goes crazy, you know, and it's like 32v32 players. And you've got your battle cruiser, you know, like let's say this is my battle cruiser and I know there's 30 other people on my team and 30 other players on the enemy, and I know there's a commander up there, and he's you know, looking over the entire solar system battle, and he sends me out on a mission, you know, and I get sent out with my battle cruiser to Eve, you know, and something goes wrong, you know, I get into a battle and I win, but like I get kind of fucked up, and I'm like, oh well, I can't get back to base, so I salvage parts off of some ship that I destroy, and I actually use that, and I use some of their salvage pieces to actually upgrade my ship or repair my ship, you know, and then I can use that to get to some other part and maybe send down some probes to get some basic resources, to get some basic things, to also, you know, upgrade my reactors or get some like reactor fuel or antimatter stuff, and then, you know, I use that to actually get to my objective and finish that. Like that dynamic emergent gameplay could totally happen, and it would be so cool. So really quick here, I'll do some final cool shit. Let me see if, yo, Aurora. Hey, do you want to help me show some people like Kerbal Space Program shit?
Sure, no problem.
All right, so there's Aurora. You can see he's flying. Yeah, hold up, I'm gonna take off. See, you could totally have like, you know, you could have multiple ships flying, you know, like running operations together and shit. Here, I'm actually gonna turn on.
That'd be great. You have a capital ship battle in orbit.
Yeah.
We get enough players to do that.
And then you have like, yeah, and then you have drop
ships
ships that come down and fight each other. Like that would be the sickest shit ever. It pisses me off because people are so like butthurt and they really want Star Citizen when you could just make this. You know, like you could totally. I'm trying to kill you.
Dropping from orbit and dogfight with drop ships?
Yeah, like how cool would this be?
Make that thing. Assuming you're recording right now. Just make that thing.
And see, and this is the problem we have. I can't kill him in the game. I don't know why. It just won't register. And look how smooth this is. Like there's no lag. Like it's totally smooth. If we could just fix the fact that I can't kill him, like if we could just fix that, we could have full-blown intergalactic here. I don't know if I can actually like weird. All right, well, I think I'm going to end this video, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. This could be so cool, and we're only like 5 baby steps away. Like, we have everything needed to make this happen. Like, I have a dedicated server. We could have at least like 10 people on here. That's all you would need. What I could do is I could make a save file where like we could build an orbital shipyard for both teams. I could just cheat it. I could cheat one into Orbit and Eve. I could cheat the other one into Orbit and Kerbin. I could make a save file, and then I can make that the default starting point for the server. And then when everybody joins in, half the team starts at the orbital station in Kerbin with a certain amount of resources, and then half the players start at Eve in orbit with their station. And then you just start from there, and you just start building. And you could even like spend the time that there's not like a PvP event just designing ship designs and stuff. And then when you actually get in game, yeah, exactly. When you get in game, like you'll already have, you know, at least some basic ship designs to go off of. And then like you'll play around, and then you'll be like, okay, well maybe this ship design didn't work out very well that round. You know, maybe we should upgrade this, or maybe we should do this differently, or whatever. And then when you come back a couple days later, both teams have like revamped all their engineering and all of their base template vehicles, and then it just starts all over again. And you can, you know, just have galactic fucking battles, and it would just be cool as shit. So,
this game is so close to going to God tier
I know!
status.
I know! It's so close! Alright, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish here because I've been recording for like 30 minutes. But
yeah, if everybody could just look up on how to do this.
Well, I don't think it's possible yet. I mean, it's gonna be up to dark multiplayer guys. Like if they can just get combat functional, if they could just get the combat functional, or at least like have some kind of integration with BD combat or BD Armory or whatever, like it would just it would open up so many possibilities.
Or
but yeah.
Squad releases the official multiplayer and it works beautifully.
Yeah, or that. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
One
but
of the
yeah.
two.
All right.
One of the two.
Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this was interesting, even though, like, we really worked our asses off. Like, we wanted to have, we wanted to do, like, a Kerbals at War kind of, like, video, official PvP round or something, but we couldn't get it to work. This is the best I could do. It's so awesome. We're so close. I don't know if it's possible, but I think it's a really compelling idea, and I just wanted to share it with y'all. So, alright, well, until next time, thanks so much. Share and subscribing helps more than you know, and I love you guys.